So this is the fourth go, take 4. Apparently, I have some kind of urge to hit stop recording instead of pause. So I'll get past that though. But my name is Jeremy, and welcome to my channel, Practical Focused Improvement. And it's exactly that. I'm not looking to be some kind of guru. This is supposed to be stuff that's really practical, and it's on kind of things that I'm interested in, that I'm focused on. And this will also be related to the website that I'm wanting to build. If you have questions and if you want to get involved, then go ahead and do that in the description down below. And as it grows, we'll develop some kind of place for the members to be able to come and to interact with each other. And the only way that I can really describe this is by making the videos and the content and expressing and discussing what it is that I'm doing, and then you'll see then, because it's too much. It's just too much. Well, I'll give a little bit of it. I feel like the education system that we have is incredibly horrible. And so I have a list of things that I wish that they would have discussed at least a lot better than what they ever did. And so I'm kind of going back and redoing it. And as I'm doing this, I know that there are going to be things that you're going to be interested in too. I keep looking at the monitor instead of the camera right there. And I had a really good thing happen today, and that was I have an indoor grill, so I can grill my meat right there in the kitchen instead of having to do an outside grill. And so before I get into it, let me go ahead and get the intro out of the way. And that is, if you're watching this video and you're interested, hit that thumbs up button, because that works with the algorithm so more people can see it. And if you've watched a few of my videos, then go ahead and subscribe, because obviously this was good enough that you wanted to watch again. And after about a month, really consider going down into the description below and subscribe and become a member on my Patreon or my Subscribe Star, because I really need dedicated, constant income coming on in so I can hire people. And definitely out of the first 10 people that I hire, at least 4 of them are going to be content creators, because the more content I have out there, then the more people I can reach, and then I can have enough money then to also hire people who can do coding and handle with computers and accounting and everything else associated with the business. So with all of that said, my George Foreman grill that I bought 10-15 years ago, it's been around for a while. It worked out really well, but there are some problems with it. One, I do not understand why it does not have a switch to turn it on and off. I have to literally plug it and unplug it into the wall whenever I want to use it and whenever I'm done. It's also not very easy to clean. It's not horrible, but there's definitely better. And so part of what I want this website that I'm going to build, what I want it to do is that I want people to be scientists in a way. I want them to be product reviewers, to do testing and all this stuff. And we're going to share this with everybody, because why can't it be free? Or at least extremely, extremely cheap. I mean, like pennies. But we'll get to that, and that'll be part of your membership, whenever you do a membership onto Patreon or Subscribe Star and the website gets going on, you're going to have access to everything. Because the way that I'm going to earn money is not by charging you an arm and a leg, it's by having as large an audience as possible. So this is definitely going to do it. And I know that people are going to do this because they're doing it already. And so, for example, I found a guy on YouTube, one of many, where he's doing exactly this, where he's bought one of these in-kitchen grills, and it's from the company called Ninja, and he's cooking with it, and he's doing his vegetables and his meat. Well, I guess mainly meat on this one, but you can do vegetables. It's multifunction. I went on to Amazon, and it was, I think, $200, maybe a little bit more for the thing. Underneath the product description there in the pictures, there's like a little sliding part to it, and you push the little arrow, and there was 55 of these little pages where it scrolls on over and it gives you like 8 more. So there's like at least 250 different ones, and it's like, well, which one's perfect? And that is absolutely wrong. There's no such thing as perfect. I don't believe in perfect. I'm going to say that over and over again. Which one's right? Well, it depends on your budget. It depends, well, is this something that you're going to use once a year, once a month, once a week, once a day? I use mine twice a day, Monday through Friday. I don't use it on Saturday. It's my cheat day. And then once on Sunday. And that's because I've lost weight. And in order to lose weight, I set up a schedule of when and where and why I'm going to eat. I answered, those questions: when, where, why, how, blah, blah, blah. And I put it into a routine. And then I slowly took away from it. So I was eating less, which brought my weight down. Because whenever I went to just eating straight up raw vegetables and tossed it together and called it a salad, maybe even put some salad dressing on it, that never worked. Not at all. So I took the approach more of, like, whenever you exercise, you're not just going to go get on that bench and be able to bench 400 pounds. You have to work into it. It's a gradual process. So I got tired of all this kind of these scams of you're going to lose weight in an instant. It's like, no, because if that was honestly true and it worked, then everyone would do it. Everyone would love it. But no, if you want anything, it's going to take work. It's going to take time. And so, yeah, it took me at least a year to lose the weight, but I kept it off for years. And there was this study that was done in Colorado, and they were looking for people who had lost 30 pounds or more and kept it off for a year or more. Some of the things that they found was that, yes, they went to a strict diet. Instead of calorie counting, they did the same thing that they would eat every single day. And they also got on the scale every single day. And I knew exactly what that was about because that was what I was doing. And the reason for it is because the scale does not lie. My appetite lies. My stomach will tell me you're hungry, stuff food in your mouth all the way down your throat. And it's like, no. So you go jump on that scale, it will tell you the honest truth. And so all the time, every time, especially whenever you're feeling a temptation or a craving, I actually have a friend who scales won't work. Go take off your shirt and take a look in the mirror. Whatever it takes, whatever it is that really makes you feel guilty, that's going to knock you out and be like, yeah, you know what? Maybe I really don't. It's at least what worked for me. Anyways, what I've done now whenever I'm looking for something to purchase, one of the things that I do is I go onto Amazon and I look to see how many reviews there are, because if they don't have any reviews, I'm not going to put very much faith in it. And so with the one that I found with Ninja, it has over 13,000 reviews, which means there's many more people who actually bought the product. And the problem with this little 5-star review is that I always, not always, but most of the time I look at the 1-star reviews and I see some of the stupidest stuff on that. I'll go over two of the biggest problems that I see on that. One is that they will talk about how the damage came to them damaged, that this item was messed up during shipping. And it's like, okay, yes, that is a 1-star review, but that belongs to FedEx or UPS. It doesn't belong to this item. And the second thing that I see is that they will talk about, again, how they have some kind of problem that they want to return it, or it was damaged, or it didn't work, it was a lemon or whatever. And they try to call up the company or whoever that they bought it from, and they have horrible customer relations with them or whatever, and then they give them a 1-star review. Again, that has nothing to do with the product. That has to do with the company, because Amazon, it has a whole bunch of individual people who've set up a 1099 independent contractor thing. Maybe it's not that, but they've set up their own business. And they're using Amazon as kind of a middleman, and they put their stuff in Amazon warehouses. Sometimes they'll do it out of their home. It just depends on what their budget is and the size and how often they have time to put into all of this stuff. And so you're not dealing with Amazon. And eBay's the same way. eBay has shops. Walmart also has that, where I just bought something off of Walmart, but it wasn't from Walmart. It was somebody who was using Walmart's services from it. So it's all wrong. So those 1-star reviews are in the wrong place. And it's the same thing with the 5-star reviews. You'll have somebody who will comment on it and be like, this is the greatest thing ever. I've had no problems with it. It's like, well, what do you know? Who are you? Oh, you're some little kid? Or you're going to tell me that this is the best thing ever whenever you've only had 2 in your entire life, whenever there's over 250 ones? What are you talking about? You're not qualified. And so that's something that we're going to deal with this website, is that the users the members are going to be able to post their own questions, their own concerns, and then upvote and downvote all this stuff. So then that way, whenever you want to do a product review or whatever it is that whatever kind of test that you want to do, you'll know exactly what other people are concerned about. And whenever you are also out there trying to do a purchase, this will be extremely accurate in what it is that you're looking for too. And you'll see things like, oh yeah, actually, I'm concerned about that too. That is something that I would like to know. So I found a guy on YouTube, and there's many of them, and he bought this little Ninja one, and he's like, I loved it, and here's why. And he's actually going through it, and he's going over all of the pros and cons, what it does, and if it kind of actually lives up to some of this stuff. And you see this all the time. So for example, I was buying, or I didn't buy, but I was looking for some pots and pans, and it was because I wasn't looking for those necessarily. I was looking for some larger trays to go in the oven, and I came across all of these weird people who were just saying, well, these are the best pots and pans I've ever had. And how many have you had? 3, 4 sets your entire life? That doesn't mean jack. You're not qualified to say something like that. You're doing the wrong stuff. And with a site like this would be able to help them focus in on what they could really do. And then we could have some really good information to help us with our purchasing or whatever it is that it, because again, all of this is going to be based off of facts and evidence and setting up people so that they can do this themselves. And that's going to be really difficult for somebody to come in and kind of skew the information, because every single person gets to do this. And so if it's something that's of concern of you, then here's what you can look at. There's do it yourself to see if it's actually legitimate or not. And like I was talking about with that study with California or with Colorado, where they were looking at this weight loss, that's what they did. Even though this was, I believe, like a university, they were looking at people who had actually lost a significant amount of weight and kept it off. And so you had to meet those qualifiers, and you had to have proof. Oh my goodness, proof. And then they wanted to hear from you, and they were looking at all the common features or attributes that they had with all of this stuff in order to get this. And it's like, well, why can't we do this? Why do we need some big university? And there's corruption with all that stuff. And I'll make another video about the things that I found with corruption, and it has to do with politicians and money and funding, that if the majority of their funding comes from the government, so it has to meet their political views, and politicians don't care about the truth. Stop. So much to go over. So there's also these other videos that you have on YouTube where it has something like, for this, it was like the best top 5 indoor kitchen grills of 2020, 2021, 2019. And all it is nothing. It's trash, every last one of them. And I see this every single time whenever I buy something. It's like they find a bunch of random pictures. And I would not be surprised if they take all of these pictures directly from Amazon. And then they read the product reviews that the people have left on Amazon, and they read all of this stuff verbatim. It's like, this is ridiculous. You know, whenever you have your phone, and I cannot text, whenever texting and cell phones and all this stuff came around, I was not a kid. I was in my 30s. Whenever I finally got a cell phone, and my mid-30s whenever I got one that actually did texting and all that stuff, because it was like, why? I've gone this long without it, and I hate the idea of my supervisor being able to call me anytime, anywhere, no matter what's going on. Back in the day, whenever I was young, that was not the way that it was. You only had your home phone, and if somebody happened to call you and you weren't there, then you were just out of luck. And it's like, that was really nice. And I think it kind of leads to people being a little more stressful, that anyone can get a hold of you and aggravate the hell out of you anytime. Because even if you don't answer and you're ignoring them, and then they leave a little message where you're going to get hit with that little kind of, oh, great, thanks for hitting me with this problem. I'm trying to have a nice time and relax, and then you do this for me. It's like, could it not have waited? It's like, anyways, you find these top 5 best videos or top 10 or whatever, and with those phones, you can do that voice to text stuff. Well, they have the opposite too, where it will read the text off of the screen, and it will some kind of voice to it. And that's why some of these times, whenever you watch these videos, the voice sounds kind of weird and choppy, and they're kind of missing their syllables and stuff. It's because that's what they're doing. Nobody's reading this. It's the same kind of program, but doing it in reverse. And those videos, this is what they're not. It's not where the person actually bought the item, opened it up, tried it out, tested it, see that if it actually lived up to the claims that it made. It's none of that stuff. You have no idea who the person is. You never see their faces. You don't know who they are. For all you know, the person's from China or from India or from wherever, and that they're just taking this stuff up where they're living in a place where they couldn't even buy it even if they wanted to. But, you know, why not? I mean, it's pretty easy to kind of do that. And if you get some clicks and some views or whatever, and you can do it with every single product out there, then you can make some money for kind of minimal work. Because whenever you kind of get into a flow, I don't see why not, because that's one of the issues that I'm having right now, is that my videos are going to come out really kind of poorly and really slowly because there's a lot to figure out. I just figured out kind of how to do partially how to do thumbnails. It's not quite yet. I've figured out several little things, but there's going to be a little bit more. I bet I'm going to have to go to that website because that automatically does it. I don't know. The fewer steps that I have to do, the better. So, but there's just I don't like going on to YouTube, and it's the same thing whenever you go to Google and you do a search for an article. You have all this kind of fluff. So often they will want to tell you the history of it and who the first person was. And it's like, I don't care. Get on with it. The problem is that if they were to actually do it, it would all be really short. That's why, for example, again, you can go and you can Google or look up on YouTube videos about people who are talking about their grills, their indoor grills, and you can find videos that are an hour long or 10 minutes long. It's like, well, which one should I choose? And a lot of times I'm going to tell you with my experience, the longer the video, the more fluff it is. They'll want to talk about their dog and their kids and how nice the morning is and it's so pretty outside. It's like, I do not care. Kick that dog out of there. Get your kid out of there and get on with it. It's nothing against you, but I don't know you. I didn't come here for all this. Please just get on with it so then I can go on with my day, you know, and good luck to you with whatever. And that's another big reason why I'm going to create this website, because I want all the fluff. I want kind of like raw data and information for all of this stuff. And then, yes, you can make these videos and you can say, yes, of all these reviews, and I went over several of them and I bought it and this is what I found out. And you can make all the content that you want, knock yourself out. And what's going to occur is that people are going to be able to really produce top-notch quality content of all kinds and do reviews and all that stuff, because you're going to have so much information at your fingertips. It's going to be more than you can shake a stick at, and that's wonderful. That's what I want. So, yeah. Well, how long am I in this? 17 minutes. So I can go on. I'm trying really hard to keep these videos short because the algorithm is wanting for videos to be roughly 10 to 15 minutes as of right now. They change that stuff all the time. But yeah, so if this too, you know, do you buy things? Oh, you do? Well, then guess what? You're going to be extremely interested in me building this website and being able to use this for the same thing, because all of this stuff is outdated. It's all wrong. It was good at one point in time, but it needs major overhauling with all of this stuff, with the way that we think that we need to conduct research, the way that we need to do test reviews, this 5-star rating, and so much more. I'm telling you, this does not even scratch the surface of what I have planned for all of this stuff. It's going to be great. We're going to stop going around in circles with a lot of this stuff and hopefully pushing forward in a lot of areas. It's going to be really exciting and nice. So please come help me and fill all this stuff out. It's literally impossible for me. I need your help. So thanks, and we'll see you later.